Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone. My name is Rizka Azizah Pisella. I'm from International Relations Department 2018. I would like to deliver my speech for my public speaking midterm test. How Indonesian youth should save the nation's culture. Mahatma Gandhi, one of the famous figures in the world, said, "A nation's culture resides in the hearts and in the soul of its people." From that quote, we can say that nation's culture must be there in each of us. We must understand and must be able to do our nation's culture, such as traditional dancing and so on, or at least we must know about it. But nowadays, Indonesian people, especially the youth, do not know about Indonesian traditional culture. If we don't preserve our culture, maybe it will be disappear and be recognized by other countries. Then, who should be blamed? Is it the government? Should we continuously preserve Indonesian culture? As a teenager, we should realize these things to grow the nationalism and to grow the love for Indonesian culture, which is really unique. Indonesia is rich of culture, like the traditional foods, traditional dances, and also songs and many things about Indonesia. We should proud of them. And now it's time for us as a regeneration of this country to grow the nationalism and try to respect all of Indonesian culture and proud of it. Actually, Indonesian traditional culture that we have can be used for learning process, such as for civics, social studies, arts and culture lessons, and local content of regional language. Culture is also very important for international forums, such as student exchanges, cultural exchanges, and international cultural events, and so on. Culture can also be used for manners learning. So, as the young generation of this country, what should we do? So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing here to tell you all how to preserve Indonesian culture. The first step that we can do is increasing a spirit of nationalism. It becomes important because nationalism is a key to preserve the culture. So we will feel that culture should be safe. We have to love domestic products and appreciate the traditions. There are many people who do not appreciate and not interested in preserving our culture. For example, some youths today prefer to show modern dance such as hip hop, break dance, and many else than Indonesian traditional dance. Fortunately, in Muhammadiyah University of Yogyakarta, there are still youths who want to preserve Indonesian culture, such as traditional dance and karawitan as traditional music. As the successor of the nation, we should keep our tradition. We can start from a little thing like by practicing Indonesian traditional dance. Nationalism is the basis for preserving culture. Therefore, we should have nationalism in our heart, isn't it? The second step, we have to be selective in accepting the effect of globalization. It is very influential on human life. With the entry of foreign culture into our country, we must take the positive and do not let the negative impact damage our morals. This concept is one of the most important things for us. Why? Because there are many examples of negative impacts, such as youth who do not care about their environment. The bad influence of foreign culture is one of the factors that causes moral destruction. There are many youths involved in drug cases and free sex. It happens because they have many different culture with us. For example, in drug cases is Jeffrey Nicole, one of the Indonesian young actor. So I think we should selective to accept globalization. The last important thing is we have to educate and inform youth about Indonesian culture, because their careless is due to the fact that nobody informed them about our culture. Many lessons about Indonesian culture have been eliminated at school, especially in the international boarding school. There are no subjects about Indonesian culture, or just about local languages, or usually we call it mulok or muatan lokal. Therefore, it becomes important for us to educate about Indonesian culture. In conclusion, uh, most people in our country do not care about the traditional culture of Indonesia. This is the bad effects of globalizations, the entry of foreign culture to our country, the lack of nationalism, and the lack of culture education. As the successor of nations, we have to increase a spirit of nationalism by loving Indonesian traditional culture, and we have to selective against the influence of globalizations to avoid the negative impacts of foreign culture, and also educate others about Indonesian traditional culture. Let's let's preserve our culture and do the best for our country. That's all from me. I think that's all. Thanks for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.